In this video, we will see the inventory management module of ADINA. Any institution can maintain the stocked goods in form of inventory. You can find inventory by going to administration. Here, in the inventory module, the administrator can set up the stores, create items inside it, generate purchase orders, request for indents, generate invoices for the sellable items, and view reports. All this functionality is available to the administrator. For the employees, you can assign part of these functionality or the full functionality by assigning them the appropriate privileges related to inventory. For inventory, you can see 4 privileges when you are admitting an employee. The first one is Manage Inventory. This privilege will give all functionality to the employee as an admin. Inventory Basics privilege will allow the employee to view items in any store and raise indents. Employee Manager Inventory will allow the user to create items in existing stores, create indent requests and approve them. Same for purchase orders, and also this employee will be able to view reports related to indents, purchase orders and GRNs. The last privilege, which is Inventory Sales, will allow the employee to generate invoices for the items that are sold in a store and check the sales report about same. Currently covering all these functionality, let us see how the administrator can maintain inventory. The first step is to set up the store category. Let's take an example of a store that is a stationery store in an institute. You can create a category of that store which can be the same name like stationery. To create a category, you just have to give a meaningful name and a code associated with that category. In this case, I am giving the same name and code. You can also set up the types of the stores if you have multiple stores in the institute. Again, the type is similar to the category. In this case, I have given it as non-consumable store. Once you have set up the types and the categories of stores in the institute, you can start adding the stores. These are the actual stores in the institute. For example, if I want to create a stationery store, I will give the name as stationery store, some code, the type that I've already created, and the category. Invoice prefix can be set. This will appear in the generated invoices if you are selling items through this store. Like this, you can create multiple stores. Now, you can categorize the items that you have in the stores. For example, you may want to categorize the items as edible or non-edible. I have already created some categories like sellable and non-sellable. So in our example of stationery store, we might have sellable items like files, pens, pencils, etc. and non-sellable items like chalks, dusters, etc. which we issue to the teachers. Once we've set up the item categories, I can create items in the store. So these are the actual items that can be created. To create an item, click on New. Give the name of the item. For example, I can give the item as eraser. The code for this item in this time, eraser. We can set up the quantity, which can be the number of such items, the price of each item, tax if any, and the batch number in which the supplier has supplied these items. This tax will be applicable based on the tax settings that we've already done using the tax settings option. If this item is sellable, we can mark it as like here. Otherwise, we can make it non-sellable. In this case, let's make it sellable. Like this, I can create another item as well. So let's say I have item which is dusters, which is non-sellable. I can mention the quantity that is already present in the store, the price of each duster, the tax, if any, batch in which we have got this item, and since it is non-sellable, I'm not enabling that option. The settings that I was talking about is tax settings. So based on how you want the billing to be done, you can set this up. If you select discount before tax, this discount that you've entered for the items is applied before the tax is calculated, and hence it reduces the amount of the tax that is charged. And after tax is applied to the items, after the tax is calculated, will lead to a higher tax amount. And these settings that you do here are applicable to the indents that you are going to generate, the purchase orders, and the invoices. So here in the store items, I have created stores by using this new option. Another way in which you can add the items is using the custom import. You can have a look at the other video called custom import for inventory, where you will understand how the items can be added in a store using an Excel sheet in bulk. Now here, let's select the store and check what all items are there. In this store, I had already few items which are files, pens and chalks which I've already created. So this store in total has all these items with the quantities that are mentioned here and the price of each item. This way you can see all the items in the store using this option. Now, as an administrator of an inventory, I would like to raise purchase orders if I see the quantity of the items falling. To raise purchase orders, I must contact the supplier. So, in the system, you can enter the supplier details. To enter the supplier details, you must define the types of the suppliers first. So here we will go to supplier type and give any type for which I want to raise the purchase order. For example, I may have a stationery supplier, so I can give that generic name here. Once I've set up the type of the supplier, I can add the details for that supplier. To add details, you can click on New and select the type for which you are adding the details, name of the supplier, contact information, and other details so that it can be referred to at any stage. Once I've added the suppliers, now purchase orders can be raised. To raise purchase order, click on this option and click on New. Purchase orders can be raised independently or as a part of indent. First, let's see what is an indent. An indent is a request that can be made by any employee for any kind of item in the store. Generally, these are non-sellable items. For example, if I see that in the classroom, the number of chalks are getting reduced, I can raise an indent for the same from the stationery store. So here, I will go to indents and click on New. Once I click on New, I will be asked to fill in the details about the indent. Indent number refers to the request number, stationery store, from which store you want this indent, the expected date, the description. Here you will see the list of all the items in the store that you have selected. So let's say that I want to request for chalks. I can select that item, the quantity that I want, and all the other fields will be automatically filled. In this way, I can add more than one item if I want to request it from this store in the same request. Once I've done this, I will save it, and this indent request will go to my manager who can approve it. So I can check that my manager is this employee. Now I will log in as this employee and approve or reject this indent. Here I will log in as E012. I can go to inventory and I can check indents. This is where I'll be able to check the requests that are raised and I'll be able to accept them or reject them. So when I click on accept here, I will check the details about this request and I can save it. So let me accept both the requests that are raised by the employees. Once these requests are approved, that means that the items are issued to the employees. So if I check the number of items in the store now by going to store items option and selecting the store, we can see that the number of files are reduced from the actual quantity. Chalks had the quantity as 10 and are reduced to 8. So this option here will show you the updated data. That means the actual quantity after indents are approved. So this is how indent can be approved and it affects the actual quantity in the store. I'm logging back as an administrator and now let's check the other options, which is purchase order. Now, purchase order can be raised independently as a different request or it can be a part of indent. So if an employee is raising an indent and the quantity that he is asked for exceeds the quantity in the store, it can be selected here and the details will be filled automatically regarding that indent. Otherwise, a separate purchase order can be created by selecting the store in which the items are required from the supplier whom we are requesting for the item, and we can select which item is required, the quantity of this item. So we had 10 as the quantity, out of which 2 was requested by an employee. Let's get 2 back into the store. We can add more than one item if that is required and save this. So based on the settings of the discount, it will be applicable and the total amount will be shown. Once I do that, you will be able to see this purchase order here and the manager of this employee who has raised the purchase order will be able to approve it. So I will log in back as the manager and I can check all the purchase orders by going to inventory, purchase order. It will list the pending purchase orders and I can issue them or reject them. Once it is issued, again this quantity that you see, which is 2, will be checked for the GRN. That means now the next step, once the purchase order is approved, is to generate the GRN. Once the GRN is generated, that means the institute has actually received the item in the store. So here I will go to GRN, click on new, give the number of the GRN, purchase order for which this GRN is getting generated, invoice number, so this is the bill number that the supplier has issued to you, the GRN date, that means the date on which you are getting the items in the store, the invoice, that is the supplier invoice, any other charges that are applied by the supplier can be entered here. Now we can save this and we can check the total quantity here. So this is the total amount for this GRN. Now if we check the store items, we'll be able to see that chalks item has total quantity as 10. 2 is the one that is just added as from the GRN. So this is how the purchase orders are requested for, approved, and the GRNs related to them are generated. Now the billing module is there for the sellable items. As a store manager, I can sell items to students, employees, or parents. I can mention the issued to, that is the ID of the employee or the parent or the student. In this case, let's say it is an employee. The name and address fields will automatically come from the profile of this employee. You can check that the prefix of this invoice is SS and automatically the first bill will be 001. The date can be changed or set from here. The item which this employee is asking for can be given like this and the details will be shown. Any tax that you want to apply can also be applied. Any additional charges for this employee or discounts that you want to give can be selected. Once this is done, you can make this invoice as is paid. That means you will not be able to edit this invoice at a later stage. Otherwise, you can save it and at a later stage, you can add items to this invoice which will lead to a different amount which can be collected in bulk. You can print this invoice. It will look like this. It has all the details regarding the items for that employee. So like this, we can generate the invoices. Now let's see the reports related to the invoices, which is in the reports section. Here we can check the indents, purchase orders and the GRNs. In the sales report section, we'll be able to check the invoice details. Let's see the normal reports first, which is regarding indents, purchase orders and GRNs. We can sort them based on the pending ones, the approved ones or the rejecting ones. Here we can also choose a duration. So it shows all the indents that are raised between this duration and all the status types. In the same way, we can get this report filtered for purchase orders and GRNs. Going to the sales report, we can check item-wise report by selecting the store, the category of the item and the duration. So here we can see the details. This is the billable item. Day-wise, we can check for a particular day as well, and we can find the invoices for a particular duration as well. Now let's see another thing which is inside the billing. When I select the store, I get the invoices related to that store. If I want to edit this invoice, I'll be able to edit it, but only when I have unchecked the option of is paid inside the invoice. Let me select that invoice by clicking on edit. I can check all the details, and since is paid was not checked, I'm able to edit it and add more item for this employee in case he wants other items. So here I can add this item, and if I want this total amount now to be paid by the employee, I can mark this as is paid. Now, if I check the store information and the invoice, I cannot edit or delete it. This amount is collected. The amount will also be reflected when you go to finance reports, and you check report for a particular transaction period. So if I see this report for today, I can check that in the inventory purchases, this much is the amount that I have got. That means this is for the purchase order. Inventory sales is regarding the billing. This is the amount that I just collected from the employee. So the inventory sales and purchases become part of income and expenses in report as well. This is about the inventory module in FETINA.